What's good, everybody? It's Blackout Survival Prepping, and we're back with another one now. Full length of video. Why I left the city to start a homestead. Alright, so I know many of you are in the city. I was born and raised in the city, okay? True inner city. And I made it through the 80s, okay? I was born in the 70s, mid 70s, and I grew up in the 80s. All right, so if any of y'all made it through the 80s, congratulations. We're here in 2026, and I will be honest to you, that is a feat that I did not think I would accomplish. I come from a inner city neighborhood in a rather medium-sized city, but I have lived in different cities all over the United States. Blackout Survival Prepping here. Flip the camera. Let's see if we can catch this helicopter out. But yeah, this right here in Charlotte, we got the helicopters searching for somebody. You can't even chill with your kids on a little weekend getaway. So make sure you get out the city as soon as you can. Until then, we'll see you soon. And there came a point in my life when I decided, not gonna raise my children in apartment complexes, not gonna raise my children in an environment to where you have to literally fight to get to school and fight on the way home from school, fight in school, just typically, fight to make it. Your whole childhood is fighting just to survive. A child should not have to deal with, just constant fighting for survival. But I guess in reality, as I say that, I guess that's what makes you become who you are as a human adult. And if we look at this stuff from just a human perspective, then I guess it truly is survival of the fittest, only the strong survive. Or is that really the case? So this channel, we will take into consideration those type of things. We do some deep thinking and take a look at living in the city, surviving through a city versus rural living, country living, however you want to call it. I must just say living as things were intended to be. Actually, how God created all of this. Some of y'all don't want to hear that term or even that word or give credit where credit's due. But once you actually start homesteading or growing things on your own, or even attempting to live off of the land or grow your own food or actually do anything for yourself that requires your hands going into the dirt, putting your hands in the dirt, not in the type of dirt that you find in city life. I ain't gonna say it that way because it is what it is. But when you actually have to put your hands in the dirt and grow food for yourself and your family and try to make it off of that, you won't really get a true understanding of life and what life is, how precious and fragile it is. If you have to kill something for food, and you can say growing it, because I know there's people out here who don't eat meat, and that's perfectly fine. But if you have to grow, let's say you have to grow your protein, okay? You gotta make sure your protein grows, because if you don't have enough protein stored away to make it until the next growing season, well, you're not gonna make it. You're gonna be thin. You're not gonna be very strong. So you've got to learn how to feed yourself and your family, because right now you've been given everything, all of us, and I'm not talking race, color, Same thing. Race and color, same thing. I'm not talking religion, any of that. You've been given everything. Everything's been provided to you by your state, your county, your country. It's been given to you. Man, that's just the majority. I mean, the majority of people. So what I mean by that is, until you have to do it to actually survive off of it and try to survive off of it, you're really not going to know what it takes, all right, or how to do it. So you got to start somewhere. Now I'm an older dude, all right. So I had the fortunate upbringing of older people who knew all this stuff from way back in the day. People who had to live this type of way, ancestors who had to live this type of way. Many of you do it as well. I'm not saying that y'all didn't. I'm just saying there's people that think they're going to take a seed and just put that seed in the ground and that it's going to grow and turn into something. And that's not how this works. You'll starve to death. If you don't start trying to grow something right now, to prepare for whatever it may be, even if there's nothing, at least you'll know how to do it. But if you don't start now, you're not going to know how to do it. And then you think that you're going to just be able to plant something and it's going to grow for you. You think you're just going to be able to get you an animal or go out into the woods and hunt something and kill it and eat it. It's not that easy. It's not going to work for you like that. You have to get out there and actually do these things. So you'll see on my thumbnail, that's Don the Fawn. Don is no longer with us. And we're going to do a whole episode on Dawn. We're going to walk over to the cow pasture and see if we can see some of the rest of her clan of deer. But there's so many deer in my area that I really wouldn't have to raise livestock unless something tragic happened. And then the people in the area, there's not, my whole county has a population of less than 3,000 easy. I've looked this up, so we're going to talk about getting out of the city, going to somewhere where it is less populated. You can stay in the city and get you some property that you can go to on the weekends. If you're working full time, you can get to that property on the weekends and start learning and stuff. But you better start learning it. You better get out of these cities real quick and start learning some stuff, because I'm going to flip the camera and I'll just show you. Let's go into, we're going to go over here to the cow side, but real quick, we're going to go into this sheep pen. So flip the camera. Okay. So inside of this pen here is a herd of sheep. It's a herd of sheep. And we're going to walk over here to the other side. But these sheep, I give them everything they need. Okay, I feed them. I give them water. I give them sweet feed. I give them corn. Okay, I give them the good stuff that they like. I give it to them. Okay, what you think is happening to you? You getting it the easy way. You just go into the grocery store, get what you need. You know, quick, instant meals. Everything's in a box. Everything's in a can. Okay. You know what I'm finna do? Hold on, let me flip. Yeah. You know what I'm finna do? I got them pinned in because I'm gonna slaughter them to put them in the freezer so that I can eat them in the future. Okay. So all I'm saying is life is pretty simple, man. Take things at face value. Take things for what they are. Cities was not a original thing for man. Man lived in tribes. Man lived in clans. And man was pretty much on the move, following their food. If they were meat eaters, you know, planting their vegetables, their gardens, things of that nature. Okay, so that's what man was doing. And then at some point, somebody decided they should decided it was too hard. I'm not gonna edit anything. I think that got caught, but somebody decided this stuff is too hard, okay? And I can tell you, it's not easy, but it beats going to a grocery store, sitting in the grocery store for what, 30 minutes just to get 3 bags, because you got to stand in a line. You got to self-checkout. You know, now they saying that don't work because most of the people stealing the stuff from up out of there. And what do you think's gonna happen when all that gets shut down? When all that comes to an end? Okay, it's not gonna be pretty. So the reason why I got out of the city is because I don't want to get stuck. Okay, I don't want to be dependent upon supply chains, supply lines, the will and mercy of somebody else. Okay, they make a lot of movies on this stuff. They're showing you what's coming. They're showing you what's happening. If you don't start trying to make a way for you and your family, then it could be a whole nother ball game. So with that said, that's why I moved out to a rural location, middle of a rainforest, Appalachian rainforest. See my other videos on this topic and these subjects. Strategic plant location. Okay, strategically planting yourself somewhere. So if you want to get out of the city, start now. If you're a younger man, if you're in your 20s, look, if you're in your 20s, life is not what you think it is in your 20s going, to your 50s, okay? So don't live for what you're living for. Live for your future. The future you, if I could tell my 20-year-old self, like, yo, the only thing matter is getting you some land and some property, because they making it to where it's not going to be none for y'all. And they telling you. They telling you this. They telling you this stuff, all right? That's the ill part about all this. They telling you. So, I love sports. I love a good entertainment, I'm a former athlete. Well, I'm still an athlete. In my own right. Now, I ain't talking about pro and none of that crap, all right? Just in my own right, okay? I love doing athletic things. My kids are involved in athletics. But you cannot make material things, you cannot make distractions your main priority. Your main priority has got to be learning how to survive for yourself and your family, because you owe it to your family. If you're having problems in life, if you got anxiety, if you've got an issue with not knowing what you want to do or knowing who you are, just try growing something. Try growing something, even if it's in a pot. See, the purpose of a human being is we were meant to be doing stuff and helping each other. This whole thing is designed in the opposite manner, and that's because we have a true enemy. There's an enemy of humanity itself. I don't care what your religion is, you have an enemy. And he wants to do nothing but see you in pain. He wants to see you desperate and destroyed. If you don't see it by now, if you don't get it by now, they're basically telling you what it is, what's out there. Okay, all this disclosure stuff and all of that craziness. All right, they're telling you what you're dealing with. Let's flip the camera one more. Okay, it's cow pasture. Okay, they ain't been over here eating us down, but this is just pure serenity. Okay, you've got to get away from all of the noise. And what I mean is the things that don't matter. That's why I got out the city. There's so many things in the city that don't matter. Just people scrambling. Gotta be here, gotta be there. Scrambling to get here, scrambling to get there. When you go rural, you ain't scrambling to go nowhere. There's no huge lines. There's no people breathing down your neck, standing in the grocery store line with somebody right up on your butt. Ain't none of that. If you do that out here, you're gonna have some problems. Okay? Grocery stores. I still go to the grocery store every now and then, but you're gonna breeze right through there. You go run in there to get something, you coming right back out. Okay? And lastly, I'm gonna leave you with why I'm even making these videos to begin with, and that is because to whom much is given, much is required. There are rules, laws to this planet, to this earth. You're not gonna get around those, okay? Real recognize real, don't forget that. So if you fake, you ain't gonna last but so long anyway, okay? And there's so many fakeness and fake people out here. So many fake things. So many fake things. We'll get into all of that. So please subscribe. Hopefully you've stayed and watched through the whole video. This is only the beginning. I've only, I could have been doing videos years ago. But I was a gray man. We'll talk about that. Some of y'all know what the gray man is. That's the best thing to be. But one thing that I did realize and come to understand is, again, to whom much is given, much is required. And you're only going to stay gray but for so long anyway, because you're not dealing with, you're dealing with physical things. But the main thing you're dealing with is powers and principalities. Okay? You wonder why things seem to never change. People get in the office, things seem to never change. Promises made, promises not kept. All of that. Okay? It's because you're not dealing with what you think you're dealing with, okay? This whole thing is a game, all smoke and mirrors. Okay? There's nothing new underneath the sun. How many times, I don't know if you've ever heard that. Some of you probably never even heard that, but yeah. There's nothing new underneath the sun, okay? It's all same smoke and mirrors game. The main thing you can do is get out and grow something. If you're growing things, you're not going to be worried about stupid things. If your focus is on being productive and actually producing something, you're not going to be worried about what Joe over there doing. There's so much nonsense online, so much nonsense in life. If you can keep the nonsense to a minimum, you will be all right. But until you start living like you were intended to live, nothing's going to go right, okay? So with that being said, please make sure you subscribe. I want to be able to cover more topics, more situations, more deep topics, and that really can only come when you've got subscribers and stuff like that, so that you can actually keep making these type of videos. So really quick, some of the videos that we do have coming, okay? We're going to be looking at different cities and different escape routes, how to maneuver within those cities. I've been to, I can't even name how many cities, but that's what we're gonna take a look at that. We're gonna be looking at videos on that, because if you're born in a certain area, 9 times out of 10, you don't really want to leave that area. Some of those areas are horrendous for trying to survive in. But some are survivable, some are not survivable. I was just in Spokane, Washington not too long ago, and yeah, this is how, you got to follow your first instincts. I should have made a video on that when I was there, because you could see how those people were going to get trapped in that fire area. It's known for that, and that was sad with what happened to those people. So my prayers and thoughts go out to the people of Spokane. There are good people out. There's good people all over. Here's one more quick thing I need to touch on. There are good people all over this country, okay? They want to make it seem like we are divided as a people, and it's really not that case, okay? There is division, but it is nowhere as bad as what they're making it out to be. Now, so please bear with me. Okay, what we're gonna do is, this is how real I am. I'm filming this myself, so I'm just gonna sit this down for a second because I gotta shut this gate back. Okay. We are not as divided as what they want to make it out to be. Okay. Let's keep going. Let's just keep going for a little minute. Okay. We're not as divided as what they want it to seem like. Case in point, like I said, I go to a lot of places and we're gonna see some videos on that. But for the most part, all of these cities, I've been received with nothing but love and just kindness. Okay, there are some rude places and some rude people in rude cities. That's anywhere. But for the overall majority, people are getting along, man. And it's not as bad as what they make it out to be. That's one of the things that goes on just in life, okay? Divide and conquer, division of people, division of culture, races, all of that, okay? When you understand that it don't gotta be that way, and when you truly understand that all you gotta do is treat others like you want to be treated. Wow. Woo. Let me show you where this came from. Yep. Cows over there. Sheep down here. Why I left the city. Walk up this mountain. To feed my poultry. All right, so as we're feeding them, we're gonna keep talking about that a little bit really quick. People in the city are good people, just as people in the rural areas. There's good people everywhere. In fact, I'm gonna guarantee you there's more good people in life and on this planet than there are bad people. Yeah, there's more good people than there are bad people in both the city and rural. You know why? It's the bad news that spreads. But when good people don't do anything about the bad, then the bad becomes good, okay? Not bad meaning bad, but bad meaning good. Let's get into all of that, okay? So anyway, keep that in mind. There are more good people than there are bad, and that's what I truly believe. And I'm gonna show you on my channel some of the people that's helped me along the way. In fact, we're gonna talk to the guy that I got my property from, and how you too can get property. Okay, you can get property, you can get things, you can pretty much get whatever you need. The first thing starts with prayer. You got to have faith and you got to pray for what you need. And you got to give thanks. But there are people out here that will help you, okay? You got to start somewhere. If you're trying to raise a child in the city, in a city environment, and they shooting up your neighborhood, okay? They shooting up your whole neighborhood. You was born and raised there. You saw what you had to go through as a kid. You really want to raise your child in that environment, knowing what's going to come with that? You're not even going to try to get them out, take them somewhere else? I'm just saying. See, I came through LA in the 80s when it was real gangs, okay? Came through Tennessee in the 80s when it was this real gangs, okay? Came through Atlanta before it turned into the Atlanta that we know today, okay? All right, the 80s was something else, man. So if you made it through the 80s and you try to raise your child in these cities during this time, what are you doing? Okay. What did they tell the Ukrainians all the way up until Russia invaded? Oh, don't worry. They're not doing nothing. 24 hours later, I watched this happen live on the news. 24 hours later, they throwing them, pow, pow, they throwing them things out to the people. Here, give them as many. They couldn't have that before. Then they just give them to them. As many as you can handle. They coming. But you just said they weren't coming. All right. People, what y'all think they doing? What y'all think they doing today? We are in America, the greatest country in the world, okay? No place I'd rather be personally. No place I'd rather be personally. Because we got a right for them things, okay? But some places they can't have them things, boy. And you know what happened when that happened. And y'all trying to do the same thing here. You better get out the city, boy. Because I can come out here anytime I want to. Practice. I love them. So I come out here and practice. Make sure I'm on point. Do whatever I need to do. Okay? I'm not held under them city constraints. I'm not held under them city views. Okay? I'm gonna tell you, I was just in Compton, California, just about a month ago. I hadn't been out there in probably 20 years, okay? Everything is behind a block wall or a fence. I wonder if them people, and I got family out there, okay? And I need to ask them this. You know, this is all in all respect to anybody out there. Do y'all not realize that they got y'all behind the wall? They got y'all behind the wall. And y'all cool with it. You just stay on out there. I don't understand that concept. They got you behind the wall. And you in the free world behind the wall. Wow. Ain't no walls out here. Ain't gonna never be. These people out here ain't going for that. Alright? We talking millions of acres of open forest. You can't live like you was not intended to live. Your life is not gonna be in harmony. Nothing gonna be in harmony. I mean, I'm out here watching the wildest of wild animals just run freely. I can hunt at will. I don't hunt because, I do hunt, but I don't hunt unless I'm going to actually eat it. I don't trophy hunt. My friend Don on the cover of this video was eaten by coyotes. My dogs brought her carcass back to the house because they knew her smell. And I have such a respect for the animals of the forest, of the land itself, the beauty of the land. I had a tornado, and it wasn't just me, tornado came through this whole area. It's knocked down more stuff. I've got a video of it hit my corn patch. But this was old trees anyway, so that will become firewood. We're gonna see videos on the firewood. I'm gonna show you how to split your own firewood. See, if you're in the city, if you're in the city and the power go out and it's in the wintertime, ooh wee, boy, remember what Enron did to y'all folks down in Texas, right? Phew, boy. I feel for anybody that goes through this type of stuff. You know, your power go out in the wintertime and you ain't got no firewood, well, you're gonna freeze to death for an extended period of time. Yeah, you're in bad deal. You come out rural, you get somewhere where you actually got some timber on your property. Like, my children will never freeze in the wintertime. Never, during their lifetime. Probably not even during their children's lifetime, because I got acres of timberland. It's not to brag on anything, I'm just saying. When you get your homestead, or when you start doing your thing, these are all things you got to think about. And I know that my system works for sure because I am a Hurricane Helene survivor, and I also help in the rebuilding efforts of people who were less fortunate, and I've got videos coming on all of that. I just now started the channel, so please subscribe so I can show more, talk about more, and if you would, please make sure you hit the like button and share with your group of friends, okay? And again, if you would watch some other videos, I'm showing you how to do multiple different things. I got a lot of shorts on there, and I'll tell you more of my story then. Until next time, I'll see you soon.